Today, former President Bill Clinton among the thousands of mourners paying their respects to the late Reverend Billy Graham. Mr. Clinton arrived at the library this afternoon to say a final farewell to the evangelist who had a profound effect on his life. And before leaving, Mr. Clinton shared some thoughts on the Reverend, calling him a profoundly good man. NBC Charlotte's Rad Berkey is live tonight at the Billy Graham Library. Rad, the former president seemed genuinely moved by his experience.
Well, he really did. You know, he recalled seeing Billy Graham preach for the first time in Little Rock when he, Mr. Clinton, was just 11 years old. Never dreaming, of course, at the time that the future would bring the two of them together again.
I think he was a profoundly good man who conveyed simple beliefs.
Franklin Graham, Billy Graham's son, led the former president inside the old Graham family homestead. The two chatted as they stood in the family parlor where Billy Graham lies in repose in a wooden casket crafted by prison inmates. Yesterday, another former president, George Bush, paid his final respects. Clinton today said Graham had been unfairly criticized for his relationship with powerful politicians.
Those of us who are Christians believe in a God of second chances, and the politicians need those more than anybody else, so you got to cut him a little slack.
On this last day of visitation, hundreds more people passed by the casket, many visibly moved.
He was just a remarkable man, loved the Lord, passed that on to generation after generation after generation, and it was just my honor to be here today.
What a blessing he's been to the entire world, and how much he'll be missed.
And perhaps you can see some of those folks that are still here tonight. Visitation here tonight ends at 10 o'clock. Reporting live at the Billy Graham Library, Rad Berkey, NBC Charlotte.
Rad, thank you. A statue of Reverend Billy Graham might be in the U.S. Capitol building soon. North Carolina Lieutenant Governor Dan Forest sent a letter to the architect of the U.S. Capitol asking to replace the statue of Governor Charles B. Aycock with one of Reverend Graham. Back in 2015, then Governor Pat McCrory actually signed into law the request for the replacement. The Lieutenant Governor is now encouraging for this request to be approved by the architect. Reverend Graham's casket will be moved to Washington, D.C. tomorrow, where he will lie in honor at the U.S. Capitol building. He will then be brought back to Charlotte for a private funeral on Friday. Be sure to stay with us on air and online for the very latest.